and see what answer you will get. Alright, let me just do this last one to prove you got no one. So cos of A divide I always use brackets for these things. I'm afraid of them. Divided by tan of A. Oh, you could see it. Got a tan of A. Oh man. Oh. I'm gonna finish. I will finish this quickly. Alright, open bracket, sine of open bracket, close the bracket, close this, divided by open the bracket, tan of open bracket, put this, close the bracket, close it. Alright, why am I getting an error? The answer is supposed to be 1. Oh wow, the calculator got reset. Alright, I glad that happened. Always make sure your calculator is on degrees. This calculator was still on rads. So let's do it again. Sine open bracket A, close the bracket, close the, divided by open bracket tan open bracket that close. Math error. Alright. Sine of A divided by tan of A. And if I try B, alright, I see the problem. Let me see how I can correct this. Alright, sorry for the long pause. Still know why I'm getting the error. Sine of what is A? How did A turn 0? What's B? Oh yeah, it's a calculator got reset. Alright, this is gonna be my last question. Alright. The calculator got reset and I forgot to reprogram it. Alright. A is something, the limit we have is 0. So we choose one that's above 0 and just below 0. 0.0001. And we call that A. Oh my goodness. And then negative 0.0001. And we call that B. Right? Good. So we have bracket sine of open brackets A, close the bracket, divided by the open tan of A, close the bracket, close that, Oh my goodness, finally we got a number. Alright, and then replace it with B, with B, B, and you get the same thing. Right, so we know, we basically see it's around 1. So we know the answer is supposed to be 1. Alright, why I had the long delay just now, I made 2 errors. The calculator got reset and it went back to degrees, and the numbers were wiped out of the A, B, C, D that I had stored earlier. So please be careful with things like that. Always make sure A, B, C, D is what you had set it to the last. Make sure you know what is in those letters at all times, and always check to make sure your calculator is in degrees at all times, or if you will waste time like I did just now. Maybe I'll still go on. Alright, so we know we're working towards 1. I said re-express this as this. And right where you can see, you can just flip this and get sin and 7 cancel out, cos x, and then you can put it in and get 1. The whole thing is keep rearranging this thing all the time until you see that when you put in the 0 in the thing, you're no longer getting a 0 with 0 or 0 times infinity or anything like that, and you have the answer. Alright, this is definitely going to be the last one. Keep saying the last one, keep going on all the time. I'm gonna alright. So for this one, we put in 0, tan of 0 is 0. So you get 0 over 0. And what I said is factor out x minus 0. Or factor the x. You can't factor the x because of there's no x out here. It's inside the tan. Can't do that. Second thing, re-express. Well, you can go find the answer and also re-express this as sin and cos. Alright, so let's find the answer. So let's see what we'll be working towards. So we say tan open bracket 2 times a close the bracket divided by 5 times a close the bracket, and that is 0.4. Guys can see 0.4, and replace A with B. B there and B there, and we get same 0.4. And as I said, you should re-express this as a fraction, so you can kind of clearly see a little better what you're going to be working towards. So 0.4 is a fraction, is 4 over 10, which is 2 over 5. So we know we're heading to 2 over 5. And the good thing is we kind of see that there. So we know manipulations. We're going to manipulate until we see when we plug in x, we just get 2/5 alone as the answer. Right? Alright, so let's follow the regular rules. We call tan sine over cos, as I said. Alright, so tan 2x is sine 2x over cos 2x. So what they did is they express tan 2x over 5x as tan 2x multiplied by 1 over 5x, and we just turn the tan into that. Right? And as I said, you see, you know you want 2 over 5 as your answer. So you start manipulating. You ready? I recorded. Yeah, so alright. Time is almost up. Church is about to start again. So what was I saying? Can't believe I forgot. Oh, we know 205 is our answer. So we are basically heading towards 2 over 5. So when they give us this, when we're here, we see we try to see if we can isolate 2 over 5 and let the rest go to 0. So what I said, when you're here, the rules I said earlier is that you can't use it as substitution because sine A minus sine B. So you look to see if any trig limit could get you out. So if you got another trig limit, and now we know sine x over x is 1, could get us out. Last time they didn't even use that because, well, they did do this a quicker way, even though they would have still worked, right? So what they did, they created a sine x over x, right? So since they have sine 2x here. They wanted to create sine 2x divided by 2x. So what they did is multiplied both top and bottom by 2x. Now if you have this and you multiply both top and bottom by 2x, you will get the 2x to come here, and the x will cancel with the x, and the 2 will left back. Multiply the top by 2x. When you divide the bottom by 2x, we'll just go on under there. So that's what they did. Alright, and then they just separated this 1 over cos 2x. So that's how they took this and they just spread it out. And I'm glad that this is my last one, and because this comprehensively shows every area of thinking. What they did in working this question, they know they're trying to utilize trig limits. Many times utilizing trig limits, you have to create the trig limit. So they saw this and they created sine x over x. Oh, the reason why I could have used the trig limit is because the x is going to 0. That's the definition. Sine x over x as x goes to 0. Right? So they created it. That's one. You see them going with the answer in mind. It's 2 over 5, and I just separated everything else. So you separate everything else, you create a trig limit, and you go with the answer in mind. So the limit of all this is the limit of the individual things, right? So this is 1 by definition. When you put 0 in here, you get 1 over cos of 0, which is 1 over 1, which is just 1, and 2 over 5 remains. Alright, I must be going. My time is up. Alright, I have to go. Church is starting now, and I have to go. I'm here since for a couple of hours. I wish you guys all the best in your test on Friday with limits. For the rest of the tutorials for this week, I'll have to go through these limits with the trig limits also and show you the substitutions. Basically, as I said, I was going to be working with the answer in mind. And then first of all, if you guys remember, you factor out x minus the a or whatever is causing the discontinuity, and then I said you turn tan or cot into cos and sine. Yeah, that's basically. Oh, and then if when you turn into sine and cos, if it still persists, you still can't work it out, you replace the sine and the cos with something else. And when you think of replacing, two things you think of is trig limits definition and substitution. For this stage, you don't substitute, you only substitute if you have sine x, sine a minus sine b. So what you do is you use the trig limit substitution. Now what this thing is testing is basically your creativity, because many times you have to, your intuition and creativity, many times you have to create the trig substitution. You will not necessarily see it in front of your face. You might have to create, like for instance the same thing we just did. They knew they wanted to use a trig substitution, a trig limit by definition, so they created the sine 2x over 2x. So you have to think of things like that. Create it, play around, just keep doing what you have to do, right? And they got the answer they had in mind at the end, which is just 2 over 5. Alright, so that's it. I wish you guys all the best. Remember to try very hard, right? Study a lot. Please utilize your time wisely. Be in the library a lot. This test is Friday, and there's a lot of work to cover. There's a lot of work to cover. There's a lot of time in tomorrow or Wednesday. You might have a class finishing at 10 and the next class till at 2. Therefore, have 4 hours. Don't go at churches and chill for the whole 4 hours. You can chill for an hour and eat, and then the other 3 hours you can spend in the library, right? You can actually spend all the time in between classes in the library. I guarantee if you do that, you would not even need to study at home. It doesn't matter if you have to go home, you have to sell at the shop or look after grandmother or you see have like or man your father's cow or anything like that. It wouldn't matter if you utilize the in between class periods in the library. You can still do excellently. Alright, I hope I see each and every one of you at tutorials. Every tutorial must be packed this week because you guys have to make up for the test last Friday by doing excellently on this slightly more difficult topic this Friday. I hope you guys appreciated all the hard work and put into this. No, I apologize for all the stops and the slurs and the mistakes. I want my calculator got reset, and that took a while to figure that out. Make sure your calculator's in rads. Be careful how you're using the letters. Have an excellent rest of the day. God bless you. Bye bye.